back to Meet Me in the Penthouse. We just were unpacking so much that we had to make this our second episode. So we are still here with Dr. Sasha. And towards the end, we were talking about identity. And it really hit home with me as a 53-year-old who's been in a career for 20-some years, on my own, doing my own thing. It's been my identity. I've got a huge billboard on Highway 2, the busiest, highway in Lincoln.
I like it when people think I'm you.
She doesn't correct them.
I received that.
But it has been my identity for so long. You're Amy the realtor. That has been my identity, the go-to. And I want to tell you, quite honestly, it was something, and I loved it. And I am so grateful for my clients. But it was something that my former husband told me I had to do when we needed to provide an income for our family. And Charlie was sick, as many of you know. So I look back at how, again, you blend in, you mentioned this, right, into what society thinks. You need to stay in a career until you're 70 and retire and contribute to your 401k. All of the, can I just say, bull poop, bull crap that we are programmed with. And I think that hitting 50 also was a time that I really wanted to evaluate what truly my purpose and my calling is, what legacy, as you mentioned, I want to leave on this earth. So let's unpack that peeling back of your identity, like your identity, the legacy, you mentioned that. So can we just go there? I think that so many women that are listening to this are in the same place that we are with careers.
Well, I think that the reason it is so hard to change our identity as women is because there are people that love us for that identity. And there are people that benefit from that identity. And so the thought of leaving that identity means leaving spaces and places and people. And you can't really change your identity and pivot without losing some people, without losing some of what you're good at, some of your what the world would say is success. Yes. And so it's hard, it's complicated because if you pivot, other people feel the ripple effect. And so that to me, when I started realizing that, I don't want to be known as only a cardiac anesthesiologist. I'm much more than that. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a podcaster. I'm now a serial entrepreneur. There are a lot of questions that come up, like, did I choose the wrong path? Was I always supposed to, should I not have been a doctor? Did I go down the wrong path? And what are my friends going to think of me? What are my partners going to think of me? Are they going to like the new version of Sasha? Some of them don't, right? Some of that is okay. And so there's a lot of things that come up with transition. I think one of the most difficult conversations I actually have had every time I've wanted to do a career pivot has been with my husband. Now, my husband is like my best friend. He loves me the most of any human on the planet, or hopefully he does. That's questionable some days.
I think he does.
But whenever I have had to sit down with him and tell him, it's that fear of disappointing the people you love and the fear, or my parents.
Yes, parents.
Who have all this expectation. We're so proud of me. I became a doctor, first physician in the family, first person to go to medical school. When I had to tell my in-laws who I love, all of those, and you can't expect everyone also to agree with your choice and understand your choice or get your choice. I mean, I lost friends when I started Brave Enough. I lost friends when I started The Legacy who were like, why isn't being a doctor enough for you?
Wow.
Right.
Why do you think you have to do this other thing? What are you chasing? Because what they're really asking is they're looking at it from their point of view, right? Like, well, I don't want to do that. So what's wrong with me? Is something wrong with me, or something must be wrong with you? And so I think that having identity changing your identity takes such courage. It also takes coaching, I think.
Yes.
And some self-coaching and some just really sitting with yourself and reflecting with yourself. And then I think there's grief that goes along with it. Right?
Amen.
You have to kind of grieve the
old
old
self.
the old
Yes.
self. And I remember like at my job where I work, and I still practice cardiac anesthesia and I love it, but I don't have my fingers in all the pots, you know? And I remember the first time someone got an award or did something for something I used to do, and the ego hit, like, oh my gosh,
yes.
like I used to be the person that would have gotten that award. I was the person
Yes.
that would be voted this. And then I'm like, but that's not who you are anymore. And that's not where you're called and your purpose. And it doesn't discount the decade of my career where I had grant funding and I published in the New England Journal and all the things I did. That still is a part of me, but that's no longer who I am. It's not my whole identity. And it's a good ego check for me to remember that I made that choice.
That is so important. The awards, the being, for me, the number one, the
Right.
top producer.
Yes.
And then our dad often will remind us, like,
Oh,
you
I
weren't
s-
number one.
Yeah,
Right.
our
Where were you?
85-year-old
We're like, well,
dad.
thank you.
Yes.
And I'm like, Dad, it's okay. I don't have to. I mean,
Yeah.
but our dad, so they still, at 85, notice who's the top producer when it's,
Yes.
Yes.
online. And
Yes, because it's a measurable, quantifiable measure
Yes.
of success.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you're making a change and you're, starting something new, no one else that really can brag about you or loves you can measure your success and be like, no one's going to be like, today you spent 2 hours creating a course and content. Like,
Yes, you're
wow.
right. Yes.
What is it? Like, it's hard to explain it to people. And I even actually told my dad the other day, because he keeps asking me every single day. And I love my dad. He's like my biggest cheerleader, but he's like, how many members do you have at the Legacy? How many members do you have at the Legacy? And I go, Dad, if you ask me that one more time, I
Yes.
know
Yeah.
that you're,
I love that your dad
you're
still asks.
coming from a place of love, and you're
Yes.
prideful of me, and you're proud of me, and you're actually want me to succeed, but stop asking me that question.
Yes.
Why don't
Yes.
you ask me how I'm doing?
yes.
Right. Like, why don't you ask me if I'm okay? If you can, make me dinner. Like,
Right.
he's
Yes.
a great cook. My dad's an amazing
Oh,
cook.
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
why don't you give me a hug? Like,
Right.
Yes.
I don't need to be peppered with.
Or I'm proud of you for
I'm
starting
proud-
something completely
Yes,
different, for
yes.
following your passion.
And I love, and
What's
the
been your
thing,
biggest scary thing opening
yes,
this?
and I love that he he's like my
Yes.
biggest cheerleader. But again, it's like a quantifiable measure
Yes.
of success.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because the other day, someone was very successful in our community, a male that I know, a guy I know, ran into me, and in the first 15 seconds, he said, I saw all about that you opened the Legacy. And I said, yeah. And he goes, what's your revenue in month one?
Oh, wow.
And I said,
Wow.
that's a really interesting question. I said, that's really interesting that you asked me that. That would be like me asking you, what did you make? What was your revenue last month? And he just kind of looked at me and goes, oh, I didn't mean it that way. And I said, no, but why don't you ask me how many women have come in and made amazing connections?
Yes.
Or why wouldn't you ask? I can tell you about how many women have already found like amazing collaborations and connections and friendship. Or why don't you ask me about how many women have emailed me this month and said, I'm so
How
glad
many
I'm
lives have
right.
you changed?
Yes.
How many
Like,
lives have
but
you changed?
again,
Lives
it's
impacted.
like a quantifiable measure of,
Yes.
and we love that. We love data. We love
Yes.
quantity.
Yes.
We love metrics. And I'm like, wow, that was a really,
Yes.
Yes.
and I came home and I told my husband that, and he's like, that was, wow. He's like, I'm surprised. I'm like, I'm not surprised, because that's the metric for some
Yeah.
people.
Right.
It's not my metric.
Right.
Like, of course I want it to be successful. Of course I'm thinking of the financial aspect of it. That's smart. That's being a smart
Right.
entrepreneur.
Right.
But that's not the measure of what I'm in month one. Like how I'm not going to tell you how much the bar made in month one.
Right.
As a measure of success,
Right. Right. One of the other things I just wanted to address, and I'm not digging in, speaking of finances here, is women. A lot of my friends and I have always been the breadwinner my entire life.
Yes, me too.
Okay. And I didn't want to assume that, but as a physician, I knew you were very, high income producing. So when you're considering following that tug,
Oh, yeah.
following that purpose, and you think, all right, God, how can I make X amount?
Yeah.
If I don't focus 80 hours a week on this, if I'm not answering my phone constantly, if I'm not on call, if I'm not doing X amount of cases a day because I am putting some time into where my passion is, how am I going to do it? Am I going to, am I going to have to sell my house? Am I going to have to change my lifestyle? How am I going to swing it financially?
Yes.
And we know, because I know that when you are following your calling and your purpose, you don't have the answers to all that. We don't know.
No.
You don't.
There's no guarantee that the legacy.
There's no guarantee.
Or your book deals, or your speaking,
this podcast,
or your coaching.
or sponsorship.
Right.
You might get a deal one day that's gone the next. I mean, it's so important I'm so glad you asked this question, because I think women have very different views of money and finances, and society has told us that it's okay for men to make money and be ambitious and be super successful and have deals. But when women do it, it's weird. You shouldn't talk about it.
Right.
You shouldn't, and also there's a fear, I think, when you go from having a paycheck and having a stability and knowing like I can make this much money and I can have this much financial success and security, to I'm going to branch out and do this thing that I don't know how to do. I've never done before. No one's ever done it in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm totally putting my own funding into this, my own financial risk at this. And I could work on it as an entrepreneur. And I've learned this with my other company. When you're an entrepreneur, you could work on your business 24 hours a day. There's no one's telling you to close the computer. Right. You could and I learned this lesson in 2020, actually. In 2020, I think it was 2020, yes, which was really remarkable. I had the best year of my business ever. I made more money than I ever thought I would make in my business, to the point where I had to write a big fat tax check that was horrible, but I had never had to do that before.
You did very well.
Praise God, yes. But it came out. It came out of kind of like a multiple things that were all just kind of merging. I'd launched a bunch of different things the year before, and it all kind of came to a head. And I made a significant amount of money that year. So much that I actually had such imposter syndrome.
Oh,
yep.
But it came at a cost. And it's like, I call it, I actually speak about this on stage. It's the size 6 Sasha. I've been a size 6, but it comes at a cost.
Okay. I love that.
That is,
and I've been that, but I can't eat bread. I can't drink wine. I can't eat any carbs. I can't go on date nights where I can have 2 martinis. Like, it's just true. Yeah. Like my metabolic, yes. Like I'm this little stout Russian who should be in Siberia. I would live forever. But like, I can't do any of those things if I want to be a size 6. And I've been a size 6 and I was miserable. My husband was like, can you just be a size 10? Because when you're a size 10, we go to dinner and you eat bread and we go to Italy, we travel, and you're not like packing bars, and you're not like, it's 2 hours, I gotta eat. Like, you're just be a size 10, and that is the same thing that happened to me that year. I made so much money that year, which told me I could make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I can do it.
Yeah.
But it comes at a cost. I was gone every week for speaking, keynote speaking. I wasn't seeing my kids. I wasn't being to be at soccer games and things I wanted to do. Not that you can't make $1 million and do that. You totally can. Yes, but for me that year, what it came at a cost, starting out, learning things, not knowing really how to scale, I was everywhere doing everything. And now I make a little less money than that, right? Probably 20% less, 30% less, but I have more autonomy. Yes. I have more well-being. I go on date nights. I take 4 trips a year. I eat bread. I drink wine. Yes. I do all the things I love.
You go to the kids' soccer games.
Yes. So I think it's really a great lesson for women to realize that, like, you're going to have years where you're here, but there may be other parts of your life that are here, right? Your bank account might be here, but your wellness might be here. Then there's other times where you might be like running marathons, but in a size 6, but there's other things that are here, right? And it's an ebb and a flow, and you have to, if you're going to start anything, you have to accept that there's going to be a time where you don't know where maybe the money's coming from. You're not guaranteed to have, people think that life is this and it's not.
Yes.
It's
oh my goodness. And how this is so ironic because that is what we were going to talk about.
I was just going to say that.
On our next podcast is the dip. Like not everything can be 164% growth. It's so great. And I even said this on my social media the other day, like never make a decision in the plateau. Like that is never
in the valley.
Like in the valley.
That's so good.
In the valley.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
But like
Love that.
it was an example of running. I always, every runner knows the first mile, it's a shakeout mile. You never make a decision to turn around. But I wanted to turn around at mile 6 and at 8 even. I was like, this was painful and brutal, but I did not make the decision because I was in the valley. Like, make a decision when you're on the mountain. And you were on the mountain. Like you said, I made so much money.
Yeah,
Success, but at what cost?
At what cost?
That's a great place to make a decision.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's also helped me right now because I'm in this startup where I feel like all the funds are going out and not a lot of funds are coming in.
And maybe you're in that.
I'm down here, but I'm so glad to know that I can do this.
Yes.
Like the same me that did this is
Amen.
here.
Yes.
Just remain. Stay to your marketing plan. Show up every day.
This is temporary.
This is
Like,
temporary.
this is temporary.
Like it's going to happen
Yes.
for you, but
Yes.
I'm going to get up here again. But right now I can't expect, I also, all the time I have to go, okay, it's really interesting because when I started the Legacy, I had this in my brain. I run all the numbers and I'm like, I need to open the club with 50 members. Okay, I need 50 founding members to open this club. So I spent a year while we were building the club doing one-on-ones with women all over town. I know every coffee place, wine bar, yes. So I had one-on-ones because the concept of a women's club is so unique and nobody's seen it. I had to sit down and have a conversation with these women. And about 2 weeks before we opened, I had 36 women. Wow. And I thought, okay, the women that I have, the 36 women are phenomenal. Like if I could hand pick 36 women, they're just she for she's what I call, like they're just empowering other women. They're brilliant. They're successful. They've got years of life experience. But I was like, man, I'm not going to make the 50. Like, how am I going to get 14 people in 2 weeks? Like, it's not going to happen, right? And I was so busy that I'm like, I can't meet with any other women. Like, I'm just in like, I'm putting wallpaper. I'm like, this is like, every day I'm spending 16 hours a day or going to the hospital and then going to the Legacy, putting furniture together. Like it's not happening. I'm not meeting with anyone. When I woke up on April 1st, it makes me choke up. I had 51 women.
Oh my gosh.
How?
Wow.
It was like, God was like, what did you need? I'm just going to give you one little bonus. So I drove to the Legacy with just tears for the ribbon cutting, just bawling my eyes out because I set that goal and I couldn't see how I was going to reach it. 2 weeks before I thought I'm not going to reach it. Just be really glad that the amazing women that said yes already. And then opening night, you two were there. We had over 100 women.
Oh yes.
Like it was phenomenal. And I keep telling myself like, that amazing goal that we reached is another piece of data that this is going to work. Like, I can't see what's happening a year in advance, but I know I'm going to get there because look what happened on day one.
Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's within, you knew it. Like it's that knowing.
Yes. I was just like overwhelmed with emotion all day because nobody knew that number. Oh. Like it's not like I went around all day and told people I got 51 people, but I knew. And it was like God did that for me. Like, and then we're going to give you a little extra one.
I love the extra one.
And I didn't meet with anybody. It wasn't like I was going out there like doing sales or like trying to convince. I wasn't texting people being like, please sign up. Like I didn't have time.
Right.
It was who you were being. It was people. You stepped out in faith. It's who you were being as you carried on your life.
Yes.
And in your knowing, walking in your purpose.
Yep.
And that is where that's where the miracles happen. That's where the magic happens. That's where God always provides.
Yes.
But so many people are so stuck in fear and not taking, not signing the lease, not putting together the furniture.
We call it the faith frequency. I mean, truly, it's the faith frequency. It's like, it's, and we talked about this that you'll never attract what you want. You'll attract who you are.
That's
And
so
that
true.
is so good to remember.
Yes.
So often we want. I want 50. I want 50. If you would have just been like driven on that number and just meeting with people like outside the 16
texting
hours and
aimlessly
texting and just one more. And I love Ed Milet, just one more, but then there comes that time where you're like,
All
but
right,
it's
God.
who it's the surrender. It's like who I'm being.
And I think the gratitude I had for the
Oh my gosh.
the women that signed up before they ever saw the space. No one had even seen.
Oh my
They
gosh.
just listened to me and they trusted me. That means so much to me.
Yes.
That's another thing that I carry with me every day when I'm doubting myself. I'm like 50 really, really smart women believed in me.
Yes. Amen.
Oh my
And-
gosh, that is so.
And so they're going to believe in me right now. I'm in a valley, but these 50 women believe in me, so I'm not alone. Right? It's that community piece.
Yes. And we always say that gratitude, that's why we call our podcast Meet Me in the Penthouse, right? Because it's that frequency, that gratitude is the highest form of frequency. So when you turned that to gratitude for the 36 that were there, and I am so grateful for these 36 and continue to move on and walk in faith. That is that again, it's just that is what happens. One of the things I think of as women is, again, I'm bringing it back to, we will spend money on our children's extra dance lessons. We will let our husbands join the country club. We will whatever's, but yet we'll drive the used cars. We won't get our hair colored. We won't pay for the personal trainer that we want. Any of that. So we have this beautiful collective that women are praying for, this beautiful space that women are praying for, but their worthiness is not, to me, I guess I think of it as like a worthiness issue. Like, I shouldn't spend the money.
Oh, 100%.
I shouldn't spend the time away.
110%.
Right? So
we always say when you say that, you're really you're saying I'm not worthy.
Yeah.
Like, that's really
you're
what
like,
you're
I
saying.
can't.
But if your kid needed coaching for $300 a month,
You wouldn't think anything
you
about
would
it.
not think twice of spending it on your son or your daughter.
Does that go back, circling back to identity? Because I feel like that is your hot button for coaching and where you've helped women.
Yes.
Back to that.
The one thing was, I think often we look for other people to see that our worthiness. And the example I coach on is, there was a Harvard development course very early in my career, and one doctor from our department would get to go every year. And I kept waiting for my turn, right? And I would ask and I would ask and I would be told no. And one of my mentors, she said to me, well, how much does it cost? And I said, it costs like $10,000. And she said, well, why wouldn't you just go pay yourself? Why are you waiting for somebody to pick you out of a lineup? And I thought, well, I can do that. But then I realized, that's what I am doing. I'm waiting for someone else to validate my worthiness. I just paid for myself. And since that time, that was probably 10 years ago, I have a personal development investment fund that I just always set a budget.
Yes.
Like, this is how much money I'm going to spend on myself every year.
Oh, I love that.
I budget it. I set it up just like I would do for my kids, or I would want my husband to do something. If my husband really wanted to do something and join a club, he would not think twice about it.
Right.
And I would want him to do it.
Yes.
But with anything, I think women do not spend money on themselves. They will spend money on their parents. They will spend money on their children. They will spend money on their pets. They will spend $1,000 to have an ACL of their dog repaired.
I was just going to say an ACL, yes.
Right? But they will not spend, they don't think they're worth it, And it's some of it comes from childhood, some of it comes from scarcity, lots of different things. But again, our society tells us,
Yes.
you really shouldn't be doing that. Like, if a woman pulls up and she's got a $100,000 car, there's a whole story behind her everybody's making up.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Maybe she just really likes cars and it brings her joy. Maybe she works really hard and she should be able to buy that car if she wants it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that the identity is a part of it, but it's also the value that you see in yourself. And I want to be a woman who's constantly investing in myself. I don't want to be stagnant.
Right.
Amen.
Well, I love when we were talking about, even before we started talking on that next ascension, what does the next the next step look like in elevation, in who, I'm going to have to leave behind some people. I'm going to have to add some people. What is that going to look like?
Yes. It's true. And that's what I keep telling women that come into the Legacy and Tour. I'm like, this is going to level you up.
Yes.
And also, women come in, they're like, well, will I learn this? Will I get this? What will I get? And I said, what about if you just got peace? What if you just got sitting in the quiet lounge and having someone wait on you for an hour? Is that enough? Why do you have to check a box or be or improve, get something? Maybe it's joy.
Yes.
Maybe, hopefully it's a collaboration, a business deal, all the stuff, because we are having programming. But what if it's just you are meant to come sit and take self-care? Like, take care of yourself.
Right.
Do we need to have an agenda for that? Like, maybe it's just you're supposed to be here so that you can have coffee a couple times a week and have somebody bring you a beautiful lavender latte. Like, there's nothing wrong with that either, So
maybe you're supposed to bless somebody that day.
That's
maybe
right.
your presence.
Yes.
Maybe
Who
your
can you
presence.
serve?
Maybe you save somebody's life, somebody's day, make somebody's day by just being who you are, by smiling at them, by saying, by
Encouraging them,
your
truly.
energy, just your energy.
Yes.
Being in that room with somebody who was feeling so lonely, who was contemplating, something.
Or even giving up. They might be like, today's the day.
Quit.
Like, I'm quitting. Like, this is not working. And you're encouraging
I know.
Yes. And I love, as you do walk in, just the quotes as you walk up the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wanted there to be a transition from the door to the club. Every space I toured, looked for a year because I said, no, there's no transition. And people were like, finally, my realtor's like, you realize that a transition is like wasted space. Like, you can't sell a transition. And I'm like, no. Everything that we do as women, we do. We're not human doings, though. We're human beings.
Yes.
And I want you to walk in and be. And I knew that when you open that door, every woman that's opening that first door is coming from work, rushing, coming from soccer practice, dance, school, pickup. She's coming from a million things. Maybe she's got a million things on her mind. And I wanted there to be two doors on purpose so that when you transition from one door to the next, you took a breath. You exhaled and you realized, like, when I open that door, I don't have to do anything. I just get to be. And I was so intentional with that, which is why you have the beautiful mural, which is why you have all the language writing up the stair. I wanted you to walk. I actually want people to walk up the stairs because I want you to be like, whew, okay, this is heavy and I'm coming in, but I'm a little lighter once I open the second door.
Yes. And we say you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. And let me tell you, when you walk in that room, you're surrounding yourself with the most incredible females in this city.
Yeah.
And who does not? So you can have the peace, but you also can have that collaboration and that level up when it,
connection.
And connection in that next, if you're looking for that next version, right, of you.
And something different.
These are the women you want to be doing life with.
Or your next best friend. I love that. And there's something great about being in your 50s where you meet someone wonderful. And at this stage, you can be like, can we just have coffee so I can get to hear your story?
Yes.
Like, that's what I said to you.
I know.
I just want to hear your story.
And we had such a great hour.
Oh, my
gosh. It was like an hour of power.
Yes.
I left there feeling lighter and better and encouraged and empowered.
And I, of course, was in workout gear. And I made a disclaimer before I met with you.
I was like,
just
no,
by the
that's
way,
what this is about.
Coming straight from Pilates, and I don't feel like changing in a strange bathroom today. And it was. And I love when you can meet someone, and not everyone's like that. It's okay. Not everyone has to be like this, but just that we had tears exchanged right there. And there was so much that was covered in an hour of just of family, of sisters, of just friendship, of raising kids, all the things, careers.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it's because you two are, I always say, I can meet a woman in the first 5 minutes and feel like we're on oh, we can skip all this stuff.
Yes.
You can just get to the good stuff.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like when you meet those women, you're like, oh, we can just get to the good stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And I know you almost want a necklace that says that. You turn it over. We can just get to the good stuff. Like, okay, now it's go time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the thing I love about you is just how multifaceted you are, how much you truly care about women. Mm-hmm. Because let's be honest, it'd be a whole heck of a lot easier for you just to be a doctor, just doing anesthesia.
Right, it's familiar.
Yes,
it's
you know when your last case is done,
easy,
you can come home. You know what time it starts in the morning. It's there is a routine, there is consistency, there is a consistent paycheck, and I love what you've done. You've done something radically different with coaching, with writing. Not often do you meet a physician who also is creative and a writer, but there probably are a lot more out there. They're just not letting that even show.
Right. Yes, that's very true.
And so I love that you've got all these incredible parts, because all women, truly, it's all within you, you know.
Correct.
And if you're a believer, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's within you. Mm-hmm. So why not you? Honestly, like, why not you?
I love that.
You give all of us hope. And I want to, all of you ladies that are listening, please, the Legacy Collective is amazing. You can call and set up. Tell us how they could call.
So you can go to legacycollectiveomaha.com, book a tour. We'd love to show anyone around. We would love to buy you or make you a beautiful cup of coffee or pour a glass of champagne for you and take you on a tour.
Yes, and here's how we end all of our podcasts. Meet Me in the Penthouse is the name of our podcast, and so I want to ask you, what does Meet Me in the Penthouse mean to you?
I think it means, first of all, I love the name of your podcast. I think it's so unique and a little radical, which I love. Like, it makes you think, right?
Yes, for sure.
For me, it just means like meet me at a top level where we can have like a really good conversation that's at the top, and let's like own that.
Yes,
you know, like as women, let's own that. Let's
unapologetically get to the good stuff.
Let's get to the good stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
That's so good.
Let's skip the basement and just get to the penthouse.
So good. So good. Well, thank you again for oh my goodness. We will definitely have her back this time with champagne.
Yes.
And maybe live from the Legacy.
That would
be really
we may
fun.
have to do it
that's
there.
Our next date. That's our next date. So thank you, friends, for joining us, and remember to share and subscribe and give this to 5 incredible women that need to hear this truth. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Meet Me in the Penthouse. And we would love to have you follow us at www.sistersnextdoor.com.
Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, please feel free to give us 5 stars, because we know you're going to find us fabulous, and pass this along to any friends that you know would enjoy this episode.